It's crazy to think that a third of the year has already gone by. You know that saying that as you get older, time goes by faster? I swear that's true, because it feels just like yesterday that I was 18. And now it just feels like every second's faster than the last. For some reason, I've always been fascinated by dates. I've always paid attention to dates. I remember dates very well. And I just think earlier, when this year started, as usual, everyone's like talking about their New Year's resolutions. And something I did for the first couple of weeks, I was asking everyone about their goals for the year. I got, the typical responses like get in shape, make more money, yada yada. But I also got some concrete responses from some of my close friends. A few of them were talking about wanting to start publishing educational content on social media. That was 4 months ago. And I talked to these people on a weekly basis. Sadly, they haven't started yet. They haven't started publishing anything. And I just think, that was 4 months ago. Imagine if they had started 4 months ago. By now, they probably have an audience, or if they didn't have any skills like publishing or creating content, they'd probably be decent at it by now. And I just think about how fast life is and how reactive most people are, including myself, because I used to be this way. I always waited for the perfect moment to do everything. I always use this example of my YouTube channel. You know how long I put it off? I put it off for 2 whole years waiting for the perfect settings, for the perfect equipment. I always found something I needed before I could start. And it's true, it's a cliche, they always say it, there's never going to be a perfect time. You have to take the initiative and act, because otherwise time waits for no man. Time doesn't stop. And if you sleep on it too much, life's going to pass you by. And it's crazy. Going back to always waiting for the perfect time. I once saw a story on Twitter. I'm not really sure about the origin, but it's a really good story to illustrate this. So it was a photography class, and the professor divided the class in 2 groups. He gave one group an assignment of taking one perfect picture, and he gave the other half an assignment of taking one picture every day for 30 days. So the assignment lasts 30 days. By the end of it, one group had to present the perfect picture at the end of the 30 days, and the other group had to amass a total of 30 pictures, one per day. And by the end of it, something very interesting happened. All the students showed their work, and the group that had to take the perfect picture, they all had, on average pictures, like mediocre pictures. Versus the other group who took 30 pictures, they had a mix of bad pictures, good pictures, and great pictures. I really like this story because, think about it. We oftentimes wait for the perfect conditions to do something. And we overthink it so much that it never truly comes out perfect. Versus those who act without overthinking or putting up mental obstacles that they have to overcome. On the long run, those people typically end up doing better because you get better through repetition. And it's funny because that applies to pretty much everything. If the longer you wait to start, the longer you put off starting something, the longer it's going to take for you to actually become decent at it. If you, like me, are working to not have an average life, to live life on your own terms, all that pressure falls on us to act. We can't wait for life to happen so that we can react. We have to take the first step and figure it out along the way. And this applies to everything. It doesn't matter what it is that you want to do, your work, your career, your relationships, your hobbies, your anything. Because think about it. by the end of this week, it's going to be May, what? I'm not sure when I'm going to publish this video, but it's going to be like May 8th. Half of the year is right around the corner. That's in just a matter of a few weeks. Again, I just think about all these things, all the goals that were set early on at the beginning of the year. Most people just gave up already, or just, the goals fell off into the void. And then that cycle is going to repeat itself again next year. And we all know this happens. We're all aware, but we just ignore it. But I want you to not ignore it, to not be like everyone else. I want you to truly think about these things, especially if you aspire, like I said, to take a different path in life. There's so many people doing it, and you can do it too. And I'm gonna be honest with you, like I'm still figuring it out, but that's the thing. Like, I realize that as long as I keep trying, doesn't matter. I won't stop. I'll just keep trying. I'll figure it out. Sometimes I make mistakes. I don't have it all figured out. I publish something and I notice I missed out a little detail or whatever, and someone points it out. There's always someone that points it out. But the principle of speed still applies, because as long as I keep moving, I keep the momentum going. And then it's easier to keep running than it is to start running. If I have the momentum, I can fix it on the go instead of waiting to start, because if I haven't started, or if you haven't started, you won't know what the issues that you're going to face are. Versus me starting, that's a whole time frame that I already exposed myself to those issues, that I already faced those issues, and I'm able to adapt and solve them or whatever. So just think about that for a second. If you haven't started yet, imagine if you start now and you stay consistent with whatever it is that you want to do all the way up until December. That's 7 months worth of time. How far do you think you can go? Like, how much do you think you can accomplish? Versus waiting for another month or another perfect time to start. Or alternatively, start something this week and stick with it for 1 month, like say till the first week of June, and track your progress, measure your starting point, and measure how much you've improved after 4 weeks, because then it starts to build from there. I'm still young, but I think, how different would my life be, or where would I be in life right now if I had this type of mindset 5 years ago or 10 years ago? Back then I didn't have a good perception of time, and to be honest, that's something that I think most of us will regret, like not making the best use of our time when we're younger. But the point of this rant is essentially to get you to start thinking a little bit about those things. Don't just, throw it under the rug or ignore it, because the clock is ticking, keeps going. Yes, it's pressure, but it's a good urgency. Like it should be a motivation, because that keeps me entertained nonstop. Just the fact that I'm figuring it out, I'm never bored. So if you're someone who's thinking about these things, or that's in the back of your mind and you've been ignoring it, face it. Don't ignore it, because you're going to be surprised at what you can achieve if you really focus on being intentional with your time. I really, really hope this rant made sense. These are things, like sometimes when I go on walks by myself, I literally have this conversation with myself, just repeat it in my head, just talking. Like, I look at the date and I'm just like, wow, another day, another week, another month. And just start thinking about, what could I have done differently 4 months ago, or to take me to this point, or to be further ahead? What am I going to do for the next following months? And thankfully now I have a platform that I can voice my thoughts and just share them with you guys, so you find some inspiration, or find some value in it that you could possibly apply to something that you're going through maybe. And that's pretty much what I wanted to say tonight. As usual, I just wanted to share my ideas and put them out there so others can listen to them and maybe derive some value from it. And as always, agree or disagree. I always like to listen to whatever type of feedback I get. But yeah, if you made it this far, don't delay. The clock is ticking. Like, make use of it. Don't waste it. That's the only thing in life you can't get back. You can get anything else back. You can get money back. Time is the only thing you can't get back. Don't be like most people. We're not like most people because we are different. Because we're going to be different. And we're going to make our own path. I'll see you in the next one.